Hi everyone, this is video 2. So, if anybody's not met me before, my name is Ernestine Day, and I am the Soulful Guitarist. I channel energy from source through me, through my guitar, without using words. And it says that I am live, just making sure. Okay. So, let's go for a ride, see where it takes us. Okay, here we go. Here we go. wow. Holy smokes. Oh, thank you, Supreme Love, Love, Love. Yeah. That was amazing. Just. I've got arthritis starting in my left finger, index finger knuckle, just the top knuckle. And I've been noticing it for the last month or so. But the one time I really feel if I go to, because usually my fingers can bend back, like on the guitar strings. This I can't anymore. If I try to push it, it hurts like hell. But yeah. Okay, let's see where we go. Here we go. I just fucking love what I do. Just, the more that I trust myself, the more beauty unfolds. This just flashed on my thoughts just before I finished bring down the sound of the music, the energy. And I think it was about a year and a half ago, something like that. Because I've only been looping for 4 years. So this part of me was dormant inside because it didn't have a way to express itself yet. And this beautiful tool to what I do now. And it's quite funny because, as I mentioned, about a year and a half ago, I don't know if people really realize that is 100% all me. There's no machines, no technology behind it. None. It's when I know what energy I'm going to be sharing, and once I anchor that in within myself and I'm solid, then I anchor it on the first track. That becomes a solid foundation. So it's anchored. And then it's like a sandbox inside. And I've been playing inside this sandbox for 4 years. I could have never imagined to be doing what I do now. Not in a million years. It's not saying it's not possible. I just said I could never imagine. I think that's the thing about, keep on doing whatever your magic is. Just keep on doing it, whatever it is. If you need some tools, it could be a special pen to write with. It could be a special keyboard. It could be many, many things, whatever it is. When we have that there and we play with whatever that is and build this incredible relationship with us and step into that, so much can unfold for ourselves. Because usually we sit there and try to get accreditation or whatever, acknowledgement from others. We look externally. And what we need to do is just look within ourselves. It's us. Like with me, it's like, the amount of growth I've gone through because of this incredible tool and the energies and everything that we're always, if you're looking for something outside yourself, you're looking the wrong direction. Go inward. Everything you need to know is within you, right? The only acceptance you need to do is accepting yourself as you are. Don't ever, ever compromise you. I'm just coming out of a situation that happened 3 months ago. It's with a narcissistic type person who's manipulating information that's not accurate or true at all to make me look like I'm the asshole. And a couple people chose to get involved. And I even said to two of them, you weren't there. You don't know everything that went down. Right? Gave them shit, but in a good way, in a loving way. And the one thing that I did not do and I will not do is compromise me. Because this person who tried to interfere with me, period, I'll leave it as that, they have never liked me from the very moment they ever met me. And I know that because I was told by somebody. But I did know who that person was. And they said to me, about people not liking me. And I said, look, I really don't care. I think she was shocked. I said, no, I don't. And what I didn't realize at that moment, because, sometimes I process things and I have more things, not better things, but more things to say. But the one thing is this, is if somebody doesn't like me, quite frankly, it's their issue. But if they try to make their issue my issue, which means crossing a line where they're trying to interfere with me in my life, right? My music, that's crossing a line with me. But I put the puzzle together. What I was told about somebody who didn't like me. Now I know who that is. And that's the thing. We don't have to go looking, you guys. Just sit back. And the one thing I'm proud of myself in all of this, because it's going to be resolved with people individually. That one person, I have no control over that person. But two of these people that I actually gave shit to, but in a loving way, we're talking for the first time in 3 months on Tuesday. And the only thing I know how to be is truthful and honest, kind, respectful. Even with this narcissistic person, I see that fact is she's been in this place where she's always had to prove herself and be better and know more than anybody else. And the people who put themselves on a pedestal, and when I go to say this word, I don't want to get into a dialogue about this person I'm going to say, right? Like, look at Trump. He built himself up to be this. He put himself on this friggin' pedestal, right? You can only keep that facade up for so long. It's the same with this person. You only can keep that facade up for so long. And then people start to see through the bullshit, the manipulation, the rudeness, disrespect, unkindness that they are towards others, opinionated. And the one thing is I've never wavered, because what she said to me was rude. It was very disrespectful, and I addressed it. And the same company, group of people, it was a committee. And because one thing I never thought of, and I would never change anything, is that when you address a narcissist, they'll come after you even more, or they'll try to come after you. And the one thing that I believe in with all my heart and soul is the truth always will surface. It will show itself. People will show exactly who they are. So don't feel you have anything to prove to anybody. If somebody wants to judge you for whatever reason, that's their shit. That's their stuff. Don't take it on. Don't take it on, because it's not yours, it's theirs. Understand what is yours. Understand what is theirs. Don't allow outside people to take you down or make you feel lesser than who you really, truly are. And sometimes we have to change friends. Sometimes we have to let go of our families, what we perceive to be families. What I have in my life today is chosen people who have shown me unconditional love and acceptance, sees me for me. They've all helped me to see myself, because of the people that I used to allow into my life interfered with me seeing me. And I had my younger brother years ago. Like, it was before I started my healing journey. My healing journey was 96, so it would be early, mid-90s, something like that. And my younger brother said to me, quit running away from your problems. When he said that to me, And immediately inside of myself, I felt, no, I'm not. But again, their perception and view without asking so they could learn or understand. But the truth is, most people don't want to listen or ask questions to listen to learn. That's where I'm so grateful that I've had to distant from all my biological family to where I've had zero communications with my youngest brother for 7 years, whatever it's been now. My other brother has been 30 plus years. I was raised with a narcissistic family. I didn't know any different. I knew how to survive in that. And it was mid-2017, I was in a situation where I was living, and I was dealing with these people, and I'm going, what's wrong with these people, right? And a friend of mine posted about a covert narcissist. And I read the article, and I went, holy shit, that's who I'm dealing with. Oh my God. So in that awareness, I was able to shift how I dealt with them, because I was no longer engaging with them, because I just didn't realize I was feeding into that. But once I realized, oh shit, I shifted. Because we can never make other people shift. The only control we have is ourselves. Right? And then what I was able to do fairly quickly was, able to go back into, because I've only basically had 3 main relationships my entire life. And all 3 of those relationships were with the same kind of people as these people, covert narcissist. One wasn't that bad, the other 2 were bad, right? And then I was able to link it to my biological family. I'm like, holy shit, no wonder. No wonder I carried on this pattern, because I wasn't able to identify that until then. And that was about 2016, 2017, something like that. And, I'm just so grateful for the very few people, and there's very few that I have allowed in to me. In fact, there's only one person that I trust explicitly. And I feel very fortunate and blessed by her. And I keep on, not every time I talk to her, but I make a point every now and again. It comes to me and said, I just need to tell you how much I fucking love you, appreciate you, I value you. I let her know. And she feels the same way about me. Yeah. We can have all kinds of different acquaintances, friends type thing. But we decide how far they get, who they get to see. Is it safe for me to show? I said this to a friend the other day that I said, I trusted, I said I opened my heart too much. She goes, no, you didn't. She goes, they couldn't see. That one person couldn't see that. But everybody else could see it. She pointed it out to me. I went, yeah, you got a point. Because, when we get hurt or anything, I didn't want to close my heart off, because I like a lot of these people. I resigned from 2 different organizations because of it. But there's a good chance I'm going to go back to at least one of them. But it's the only person I'm responsible for is myself. Speak truth, speak honesty, take responsibility only when it needs to be done. And also, it's like with me, like I'm going to apologize to a person because I reacted a couple of weeks ago when I didn't run into her. I was sitting there and I was wherever, and all of a sudden I looked and she was coming at me to give me a hug, and I just put my hand up and said, "Don't touch me." It was a reaction. She just caught me off guard. She didn't deserve that. And a friend of mine was sitting right beside me. I said, "Wow, I reacted to that, didn't I?" Right? And that, but she understood. And that's why I need to apologize to this person. And I sent a voice message yesterday just saying, I need to apologize to you, but I would like to do it in person. So it's happening Tuesday. And I think the rest of it will unfold as it needs to unfold, whatever way, shape, or form it goes. I have no expectations one way or the other, but I will own and take responsibility for my reaction that day. Yeah. But that's my integrity. Just remember, there's only one person you're accountable and responsible to. That is you yourself. Yeah. It's like the title of my first album, by the way, is Me, Myself, and I. I'm realizing more now today why that title was there. And there's times when I say, you know, from all of me, myself, and I, which means all of me. All the good, all the bad, the ugliness has a purpose. While we're in it, it feels like crap. It feels like crap. Yeah. But anyway, on that beautiful note, oh, absolutely, I agree with you. It wasn't, it wasn't, it was with this person, whenever we've seen each other, except for one occasion, we always, we give each other the biggest solid hug, always. And it's all heartfelt on both parties. And because she got involved in, along with her wife and this other person who's manipulating information and make it look like I'm being rude to her, like, good God. Oh, okay, good gracious. And if I need my own space, like, you know, in that moment, at that moment, because that's all it's about, it was just, she just caught me off guard and I reacted. I have no regrets for what I reacted, because there's a part of me that also says, you don't respond to me, right? But when I go to speak to her, I'll be able to explain part of this to the best of my knowledge, what I'm aware of at this point. No, I have, it's taken me a long time about my boundaries. And there's one thing I do not tolerate is rudeness, disrespect, and disregard. If you do that to me, it's okay. It's quite incredible because, you know, I expect truthfulness from people, honesty to the best of your ability. If you realize that, oh, need to correct something, that's great. Come back to me, correct it. But that's where with me it is that's how I operate, but not everybody. My friend the other day, she reminded me, Ernie, you gotta remember that 99% of the people out there are not like you. And when she said that, it was like, yeah. And I think that's what we all need to remind ourselves, because of our who we are and how we operate doesn't mean other people are going to do the same thing or think the same way, even in my spiritual community. I've seen that repeatedly. And for me, is me understanding how unique I am. And to maneuver through this world is not easy for me. It's not easy for me, and I'm sure it's like that for a hell of a lot of people, especially us light workers. And I worked so hard to get me back. I'm not going to allow anybody or anything to interfere with me and my well-being and my music. And I know what I do is incredible. It's not me, the human. I'm a vessel. I have this incredible gift and ability to do what I do. It's all channeled. You know, I was saying to a friend yesterday, I said, you know, if somebody was playing guitar and I had to pick something else, I couldn't do it. I can't pick for other people. I can only do it for me. But I think it's the channeling, that energy. I feel this, and it takes me. And it's me trusting every, you know, and if I make a mistake, it's only because I stepped out for a sec. I got myself back, right? Like, oh shit, get back in here, right? And, right, because I don't make many mistakes, as most of you guys know. Very seldom. But again, that's what I've learned about myself, that when I do make a mistake while I'm channeling, it is because I'm sort of going back into my brain a bit, or I get distracted or something. That can happen to me as well. But anyway, on that beautiful note, happy Sunday evening. It's 8:15 p.m. Pacific time. Supreme love, love, love. Thank you for being here now. Appreciate your comments and your sharing too. Yeah. I think we're finding our voice. It's not about age, you guys. It's just about us finding our voice and staying very true to ourselves. And basically fuck the rest of the world. But it does mean you have to be an asshole, like the T is, and this other person I'm dealing with. Don't know yourself, because or do things you're going to regret later. Always do your best to come from your heart. And if you don't find in a bit that you're not coming from your heart, just shift. Get back in your heart space, start shifting it all. Yeah, that's all we can do. So, on that note, hugs and loves. Be well. See you the next time. Ciao.